My name is Barnett, and I live in San Diego, California. And one of the great things about California is that there's no shortage of new spiritual things to do. And around July of 2006, June or July in 2006, I found myself surrounded by 3 or 4 of my good friends who told me about this Gnan Vidhi thing that they had just done. And they were so enthusiastic about it that I got caught up in the excitement, and I flew out to Chicago from California to go and take this thing. And I had been to India a couple times, and I had done my share of spiritual workshops and things like that. And their excitement was so contagious that I really had the belief. It was kind of the hope and the fear at the same time. The hope that maybe this was it. Maybe this would be the end to this long search. And the fear that it would be just another disappointment like the other quick fixes that seemed so great for a month or two and then kind of declined. So it was that hope and fear that I brought with me to Chicago. And so in being there in Chicago and being with the people, I noticed something so different in the eyes of the people and just in being with them, that something different from any other group. And I hate to use the word group because it's not really a group, just people. And the thing that was different is that there was just a sense of completeness coming from them, where they wanted nothing from me. There was nothing that they had to convince me of. But the joy and the happiness in their expression of the life that they were living and the experiences was so natural. No donation, nothing, no hidden agenda, nothing like that. And so I was pretty impressed with that, and I thought that that would be a good thing for me to pay attention and see what they did. So I took the Gnan, and although they tell you beforehand not to expect anything, you know, sometimes when there's a room full of people and 30 people are having an experience, 25 of them will really, sometimes they won't feel anything, but the 5 that do, they talk and talk and talk, and they're excited, which is natural. So although I knew not to expect anything, somehow I kind of hoped that maybe something wonderful would happen to me. So I took the Gnan, and nothing happened. I went home to my hotel room that night, and I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. And I was convinced that of those 600 people that took Gnan, that Barnett would be the only one that didn't get it, that I would just continue on searching and seeking and seeking. So I went to bed that night, and I woke up the next morning, and the next day, still nothing, no bells and whistles, no thunderbolt, no lightning struck. But I noticed that I wasn't thinking a lot. I didn't have a lot of chatter, a lot of judgments and a lot of chatter. And it took me about 5 hours or 6 hours before it really dawned on me that I wasn't suffering, that I wasn't having the conversations, oh, I like this, I don't like this, this is nice, that's not nice. And so I started to pay attention a little bit to that mind and that thought. And it was about 2 or 3 days later when I had an irritating thought, and I heard this voice come up from inside me, and it was just, shh. It's just like that, shh. And I'd heard a similar voice, kind of like Barnett, stop thinking like that, but I'd never heard a shh where that other voice completely stopped. It just completely stopped. So that really got my attention. And I won't say that it was a path of ever-increasing happiness, although when I look back on it, my heart seems so much more full now and so much more soft than it felt before I took Gnan, because I had 3 or 4 upsetting things happen. So I went into a little roller coaster, up and down and up and down. But I can easily say that the attachment to all the feelings that Barnett was having, there was some kind of distance between, like I was watching Barnett having these feelings, but I wasn't Barnett having these feelings. I was kind of witnessing it. And since then, it's now December, so it's about 5 months later. Since then, I can easily say that my search is over. That the path that I'm on there's such an excitement. And there's such a genuineness about how I am experiencing the world. There's a falling away of pretense. There's a falling away of expectation. And it's not as though I'm efforting at all of this. It's just how things are just kind of naturally just kind of falling away, kind of like a snake shedding skin. I'm not trying to do anything, it's just happening naturally. So I wholeheartedly invite you to do this. It's an amazing adventure.